Hello beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night whenever you are watching this. For today's reading, we're going to be getting messages from your guides to see what is the next step for you, or what next step they're encouraging you or guiding you to take at this moment. So you could just pick whichever pile is coming to you naturally, or you can ask about a specific area of life. I'm leaving that open to whatever comes through. And to do this reading, I have 4 piles. I'm gonna add the crystals and I'll be right back. And here we have your crystals. For pile 1, we have this citrine chunk. For pile 2, we have this rose quartz chunk. For pile 3, we have this tiger's eye chunk. And for pile 4, we have this blue lace agate chunk. Pick whichever pile number, and or crystal is calling you most, and that is going to be your reading. Timestamps are linked down below, as well as the decks I use. That's always in the description box. And if you wanted to go ahead and just skip into your readings, you can go ahead and do that. But for this next part, if you're interested in just connecting with me, then just stay here. So the question that I have for you is, what element have you been most called to work with, or recently, or just most called to connect with? For me, it's been earth. I've been really feeling this strong calling to work with the earth elements, so grounding myself in nature, being more in the forest. I love being near the water, but for some reason I have a really strong calling to go and spend some time near the forest, or in the forest, or near trees and things like that. So I've been really feeling called to work with the earth element. And the reason I'm asking this is because sometimes when we reflect on why we're being called to a specific element, we can understand a bit more of what we may need in this moment, and so, or during this time. So I think for me personally, the reason I'm feeling called to work with the earth element is because I need grounding, but in a softer, more nurturing way, rather than a heavy grounding, if that makes sense. That's at least the conclusion that I've come to, is that I need to ground right now, but I need to ground more softly and more in a more nurturing way, and that's why I feel called to the earth element, specifically nature, trees, the forest, that type of thing. And so if you wanted to let me know what element you were called to, or maybe you just want to reflect on that for yourself. But now let's get into your readings. Hello pile 1, how are you doing? You've chosen this citrine chunk, and I'm going to keep your crystal right here. So I really have been loving connecting with you guys and asking you questions, hearing your responses. And today I'm interested, what element has been really calling to you? If you want to hear my answer, you can check out the intro or leave it in the comment section. Maybe it's something you just want to reflect on privately. But now let's get in. Actually, before we get into your cards, I had a few things that came up while I was shuffling your deck. The Goddess Ella, which is a unique card in this tarot deck, as well as the Two of Swords, fell out on the shuffle, which doesn't usually happen. So I took that as a sign, and I'm wondering if for some of you, you might be at a crossroads right now when it either comes to your work, your job, or your purpose, and you might be looking for answers or guidance, and maybe that's something, or that's the reason why you came to this reading, or it just could be something that you've been a bit confused on, or at a crossroads and not sure which path to take when it comes to this area of your life. It is kind of interesting that I chose to put citrine on your pile, because citrine typically deals with our finances and things like that. And I also kept seeing a lot of swords cards when I was shuffling your deck. So I feel like there could be a lot of mental energy, maybe you're in your head a lot recently, and maybe there's a need to analyze your thoughts, because they might have some insight for you. Or for some of you, maybe it's too much mental energy and you may need to like find a way to express that energy so you're not so stuck in your head. But take what resonates for you. Now let's get into your cards. So this card I just pulled off the top of the deck because I really do enjoy doing that. We have the King of Swords here, Lizard, and it did come reverse. We have New Moon in Sagittarius, focus on the positive. New Moon in Pisces, attuned to the divine. Blessings. And I felt called to use this deck for some reason. And I didn't really, like, I kind of just left it open to see whatever comes through because I didn't know why I was called to use this deck. Doesn't really, I mean, maybe there is a message here for next steps. But anyways, let me lay this all out and I'll be right back. All right, Pile 1, let's pull your tarot cards. But the first thing that I'm getting, just because you have this double new moon energy here and you have blessings, I'm feeling like, and then also the cards that fell out, the Goddess Ella and the Two of Swords, I'm feeling like there's a significant blessing that is coming and entering into your life, and it's entering in rather rapidly, I'm hearing. Also, especially because there was, again, a lot of swords energy, which the swords are the fastest suite in the tarot. So this seems to be happening rather quickly for you. Something you've been manifesting is happening in your reality, something you've been working on, and maybe you've hit a point, because we saw the Two of Swords, maybe you hit a point where you weren't sure if it was even going to happen, and you may have been, again, at this crossroads of like not believing in it or not wanting to continue putting in effort. Like for those of you who are trying to manifest something that requires your continual effort, in the sense of like a specific job or a specific career type or something like that, and maybe you were getting a bit frustrated with the effort and not seeing the results and not having the outcome that you wanted, and maybe that's why you were at that crossroads. Well, I feel like your next step is to be open and receptive, because it is coming in. So as long as you continue to take those steps forward, this seems to be happening rather rapidly. Like it is going to come in. But let's just see what your tarot has to say. So the spirit guides of Pile 1, what is the next step that you are guiding them towards? What next step are you guiding them towards? Okay. Oh, and then we have another, wow, we have the King of Swords here, and we have the Queen of Swords here. So like I was saying, there's a lot of air energy, but we have the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Wands. What was I saying about fast? Something coming in fast. This could even be communication with somebody. Maybe you've been wanting to open up a communication channel with somebody, or open up communication with somebody. You may have been seeking that sort of openness with someone, and I feel like that's what is coming through here. And then we have, wow, the Ten of Pentacles along with Justice. So yeah, something you're manifesting, or you've been manifesting, an intention you've set, something that you've been really hoping, praying for, or working towards, is coming into your reality. And so your next steps, I think, is to remain open so you can see it. It's not to say that if you don't believe it's going to happen, that you're not going to get it. But sometimes if you don't believe it's going to happen, and that belief of it's not going to happen becomes so strong that it causes you to stop taking action, or look away, then even when the opportunity comes your way, you might fumble it, or you might just not recognize it, or you may not take it. So I think in this case, it's not that it's not going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. As I see it's coming in, like even with this Eight of Wands here, and there's a lot of sword energy we were feeling. There's this feeling that it's happening. Even this new moon with Sagittarius is about shooting your shot. And it's a pretty quick sign. It's a fire sign. So this is happening. It's just about remaining optimistic enough to where you don't stop taking the actions that you need to take. And now let's get into what those actions are, because I feel like you're probably asking, okay, what is that? The action that you're actually being called to take is to, one, take a slight step back and be patient as this thing evolves. But when that opportunity comes, be ready. So right now, I feel like your guides are saying to prepare yourself. Get prepared for this opportunity. So ask yourself, if this opportunity came in tomorrow, what would you need in order to feel prepared to accept it, to take it, to recognize it? And focus on that. So that is like the next step, or that is the thing that your guides are encouraging you to focus on. That if that thing came in tomorrow, do you feel prepared for it? And it's okay if you don't. It's not like you have to be 100% prepared, but rather try to see what you would need in order to feel prepared. I'm also noticing that you have a lot of Mercury energy here. This eight of Wands is typically associated with Mercury, and this Ten of Pentacles also is associated with Mercury. So I wonder if the next, or if you paid attention to the Mercury retrogrades, or I'm actually feeling like the next change that Mercury makes, like the next zodiac change from whenever you're watching this, maybe take a look at that, because I feel like that time will be really significant for you, and maybe this opportunity will come in during that time. So whenever Mercury changes signs, I'm feeling possibly going retrograde, but also I don't know what happens first. I don't know if Mercury goes retrograde first. So I know the next time it's going retrograde is sometime in June, I think. I have to look that up, and I'll look it up and I'll put it on the screen. But it's either the retrograde or when it changes signs, which I'm not really sure which one happens first, or when Mercury will be changing signs next. But pay attention to that, because I think that time period will be really significant. And also we have double Sagittarius energy here. Eight of Wands is Mercury in Sagittarius. And then the Ace of Wands is a lot of fire. And then the Lizard is also fire energy. So it seems, wow. And I'm now just noticing that there's passions here. Let me just read this card quickly. Pursuing my hobbies and unique interests is not a waste of time. My hobbies bring me pure inner joy, and my interests light up my spirit in fantastic ways. I dismiss societal pressure and simply allow myself to enjoy the things I like. So maybe right now, while you're in this period of waiting or preparing, I feel like the thing here is that you're in a period of preparing to receive your manifestation, receive that opportunity, because it's coming in regardless. So your guides are saying that, again, like we said, what do you need to do during this time in order to feel prepared to receive it? What do you need to do to prepare yourself? But also paying attention to your passions and maybe your hobbies as well, like spending time focusing on those things along with, your other stuff too, I think can be really helpful, because your passions and your hobbies might help keep your mind occupied, so it's not fixating on this opportunity. But it also, I think, will help refresh your mind. It gives it a new perspective, it refreshes it, so that when this opportunity comes in, you're able to recognize it. I really feel like your next steps and what your spirit guide is encouraging you to do right now is to prepare yourself for this blessing. Know that it's coming in. It's like everything here is telling me that it is definitely coming in for you. The only way it wouldn't happen is if you stopped taking that action, or if you stopped walking towards it. And I'm also hearing that in spending time preparing yourself for this opportunity, you'll also be able to recognize what this opportunity would truly feel like versus what it wouldn't. So if something that, like I'm thinking of, if you've been trying to call in a romantic relationship, for example, and you have this idea or understanding of who you want in a partner. This could even be like a business partner, whatever it is. But just for the sake of this example, like you have this idea of what you want and who you want. By preparing yourself for it and getting clear on that and like sitting with that energy, you'll be able to distinguish what is actually aligned with that, and or who is actually aligned with the partner that you're looking for and who isn't. Like by spending time in this and preparing for it, you'll be able to create that distinguishment or have that discernment. Also feeling like many of you in this pile have a lot of psychic gifts, or your energies are very like attuned to the energies around you, or very like spiritually attuned. And your spirit guides are saying that spending time not only preparing for this manifestation, but also spending time in your hobbies and your passions and really understanding what lights you up will help you gain more clarity on your energy versus others. Because I think that's really important right now, not only just for you to be able to set healthy boundaries and be able to like differentiate between your energies and what is actually how you're feeling versus others, but also so you can gain more understanding and discernment for the manifestations and blessings that come your way. So you have more like confidence in your ability to recognize when it's a genuinely aligned opportunity and when it isn't. And so you're not afraid of taking an opportunity, like, because sometimes I've noticed that this can happen where it's like an opportunity can come your way and it can be aligned with the thing that you've been manifesting, but maybe you're not 100% confident in yourself and you're not sure if this is actually the opportunity or if this is like something else, and if it's, you know, like you might be confused or conflicted on that, and so you might end up rejecting what was actually the opportunity or what was actually in alignment with you. And that's not to say that it's not going to come back or, you know, you mess things up, but I feel like your next steps is to be able to gain more clarity and confidence in your ability to discern between that, so you take the opportunity when it comes in. And because the thing is, like, the actual opportunity, it will come in, and if you reject it, it's still going to come in again, but maybe it'll take more time now. So like if you spend this time right now preparing yourself, sitting with your energy and building that confidence in your discernment and your like ability to distinguish between what is actually aligned with you and what actually sparks your inner fire versus what is not really aligned with you and maybe just like a dupe, maybe just looks like the thing but really isn't. Being able to distinguish between that is going to really help you in not only recognizing this opportunity but having the confidence to take it when it comes in. And I'm also, with this 10 of Pentacles here, I feel like this opportunity is going to feel very stabilizing and fulfilling is what I'm hearing. It's like it's happening exactly in the right time to where you feel stable and secure and prepared to take it. Like I think it's happening exactly when you feel ready, or you're it's not that you have to force yourself to feel ready, but rather when it comes in, you'll realize that you are actually ready for it. Even if the doubts are there, even if there's a bit of hesitation, I think when that opportunity presents itself, you're going to feel very ready. But I do feel like the reason your spirit guides are saying that this period of time of preparation is extremely important is to help you feel secure in yourself, to help you feel confident and stable in yourself. So when this opportunity comes in, again, like the biggest thing your spirit guides keep wanting me to emphasize is that this opportunity is going to come in one way or another. But they want you to feel prepared and ready so you take the opportunity. Whether that's an opportunity for communication with another person, or whatever the thing is that you've been really bringing in. It could be multiple things too, actually. And because we're ending with this justice here, I'm hearing to get clear on your value system and what your morals, your value system, your core beliefs, what you would want to be your core set of beliefs and things like that. Because if you have a clear understanding of that, then this opportunity becomes even more easy to recognize. Because it's like, oh yeah, that's 100%, like I see that is clearly aligned with my values and stuff. Or that is not. And if it's not aligned with your values and stuff, then it's not the opportunity. But if it is, then you can recognize pretty quickly that that is the opportunity. Like, again, for example, if you're looking for a relationship or a partnership of some sort, if you get clear on your values and your morals and your principles, then the people that come into your life who are being presented to you, you'll be able to easily see which one is in alignment with you and the partner that you want versus who isn't. It makes it so much more clear. I think basically this whole next step in preparation is to gain clarity so that when this opportunity comes in, you can clearly see it, you recognize it, and you're not falling for the wrong, like a dupe, you know, or it's not even that you're not falling for a dupe, but it's that you're not afraid of falling for the dupe and so not taking the real opportunity, if that makes sense. And just to summarize, because I do feel like that was kind of a lot, you have a blessing that's coming in, something that you've been actively manifesting, putting effort, intention, and energy towards, and that's coming to you right now. So you're being guided to prepare for it by reconnecting to your life force energy, your inner spark, and using that to fuel aligned action and gain clarity on your values and principles so you're able to have the confidence and know what actions to take and what choices to make, and so you can recognize the blessing and opportunity when it comes your way. I'm also just now getting that for some of you, you might be looking for your purpose, and spending time connecting to your life force energy will help you get clear on that, and it also will open the path up for you. Now let's end your reading with the last message from Spirit. Spirit, what? Blah. We have the answers and truths are always within. So it almost feels like your spirit guides have been giving you this message, or they've been showing you signs, and maybe for some of you, you haven't really been able to interpret the signs. Yeah, maybe it's been a bit difficult in understanding what the signs are saying to you, but I do feel like your spirit guides have been giving you signs, and spirit has been giving you signs to prepare yourself, or there's like certain insight and messages that they've been sending you. So if you take some time to I feel like in your case, it's not about meditating or anything like that, although that can be helpful. I feel like if you take some time to just focus on your hobbies and kind of like, it's not isolating yourself, but it's like spending time in your own little bubble with your hobbies, I think the answers will naturally come through to you. In that moment where you're not like trying to seek the answers would naturally just drop in. And if you are an artist or something like that, it might even come through in your work or in your drawings or in your, art. But also I'm hearing that for some of you, this could come through in your dream state as well. So maybe keeping a dream journal right now could be helpful if there are any specific questions that you've been trying to have answered. And I think your guides have been giving you the signs, but maybe they're not, either they aren't being clear or maybe you're not understanding it, in which case, again, it's like, that's okay. Like, we don't always understand every message that comes from our guides or every sign that they send us, and we're just building that relationship. So I think if you were to just spend some time in your hobbies, the answers will come a little bit more directly. It won't be as maybe confusing as just seeing signs. Like, it'll come through almost like a download of information. I feel like getting one more. Pile 1 spirit guides. What last message would you like to give them? Thank you. Oop. We have, I hope I didn't mess up. I don't know how to say this. Frangipani. You are truly beautiful on the inside and the outside. Lotus, stand still for now and listen to your life. So I do think that there's a period of time right now where it's a slight pause that you're being asked to take. And I don't mean pause as in things are literally pausing, but just for you to prepare yourself. You're being asked to just take a slight step back and focus on your hobbies and what ignites that passion in you. The answers will come through. And I feel like your spirit guides are just saying, you're a beautiful soul. Like, you're an incredibly beautiful soul, and they love you. And you are so worthy of this blessing that's coming into your life. And I guess that's the reason why they're emphasizing for you to prepare yourself for it, so that you feel worthy of it and take it. Because they know how much you've desired this. They know how much you want this. And they want to make sure that you get to receive it and that you open up to it and enjoy the blessing that you've been calling in. So pile 1, this is where I'm going to leave your reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you, and thank you so much for being here. If you want to dive deeper, you can book personal tarot readings through my website. It's linked in the description box. If you like this reading, then like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I'll catch you in another video reading. Bye. Hello, pile 2. How are you doing? You've chosen this rose quartz crystal. I'm going to keep it right here. Before we get into your reading, I've really been loving connecting with you through the comment section. I'm curious, what element, so like earth, air, water, fire, or spirit, have you been recently feeling very called to, or like drawn towards, or connected with? If you want to hear my answer, you can check out the intro. Maybe you want to just reflect on that personally, or you want to leave it down in the comment section. Either way, I enjoy reflecting on that from time to time because I feel like it brings me a lot of insight. So yeah, now let's get into your reading. First of all, as soon as I tapped in, I started to channel this song, Up Down by T-Pain. I have no idea why I'm channeling that song, and I genuinely don't channel songs. So this, like, the last 2 times it's happened, it's been really weird, and I have no idea why that song was coming through, but it was, so I had to mention it. Now let's get into your cards. This is the card from the top of the deck that I pulled. So we have the Hermit. We have the Deer. We then have Full Moon in Pisces, Forgive. We have Forgiveness. And then we have equal parts. So with this card, I didn't really have a clear like direction. I just felt called to use this deck for some reason. And so I kind of just let your spirit guides give me whatever, and we will see what comes through with this. But let me just read it. Water seeks its own level. Therefore, I attract those who can meet me where I am on my journey. My interpersonal relationships are mirrors into my own self, so I strive to put my best self into the universe. I just sneezed. So that is confirmation of something. I wonder what you were thinking when I sneezed. So that I shall find others who seek growth. Okay, let me quickly line this all up and then I'll pull your tarot cards. I'm wondering if there's been something that has been irritating you or bothering you, something that you want to address but maybe haven't taken the time to address. And I wonder if that's something that your spirit guides are encouraging you to address right now. Because when I think of sneezing, I think of it like confirming something, but also in this case I was thinking of like an irritant. Like when you sneeze, it's because something is irritating your sinuses or whatever, and you sneeze to release it. So I wonder if like that if there's something here in your life that's been bothering you, irritating you, and it's time to release it. But anyways, let's pull your tarot cards, spirit guides of pile 2. What next steps are you guiding them towards? What next steps are you encouraging them to take? We have the 3 of Cups here. Feeling like this. Wow, this came out for pile 1 as well. What next steps are you encouraging them to take? I'm hearing look into your heart. Wow. Maybe because we have so much forgiveness energy, like forgive with this full moon in Pisces, and then you literally have the forgiveness card as well here. And then the deer, because there's all this green energy, it's reminding me of the heart chakra. So possibly there's this need to connect to your heart chakra so that you can either forgive yourself or forgive somebody else. So it's no longer weighing on your heart. So it's no longer closing your heart off. So, because I'm hearing like in some cases, this irritant or whatever it is that you haven't yet forgiven has been weighing heavily in your heart to the point where there's not enough room or space for new things to enter, or for the things that you want. And sometimes I think it makes it difficult for you to be able to connect with yourself and others, just because there might be a lot of heaviness here. Now, if you don't feel like there's any forgiveness that you need to do either to yourself or to another, this might not be your pile. Maybe you need to check out another pile, or you could just stick around and see what comes through. But I'm definitely feeling like a heavy forgiveness energy clearly, because here's literally the card that says forgive, and then we have forgiveness here in this reading. But let me just lay out your cards and then we'll get into it. So we have the Star and the Page of Swords. Okay, so pile 2, I've laid out all of your cards. I'm not sure if I introduced you to your cards, the tarot, so I'll just do that quickly. We have the 3 of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Hermit, the 3 of Wands, the Star, and the Page of Swords here. So one of the first things that was obviously coming up since the beginning is this forgiveness. I feel like specifically in your heart center, there's this baggage that has been kind of living there for a while now. And I think you've learned the lessons from those situations to where if the situation were to happen again, you know how to navigate it because you have gained the wisdom to navigate that situation without having to hold on to the grudge or the hurt. This could be forgiving yourself or another. Either way, you've already learned the lesson and you've grown wiser because of it. So now you don't really need to hold on to the baggage of that situation or that's the best way to put it. You no longer need to hold on to the baggage because you've already learned the lesson. Your spirit guides are really encouraging you to step fully into this forgiveness, whether it's with yourself or another person. Take some time to maybe journal about what's going on, what's in your heart, what have you been carrying, and who have you been directing this towards, because I also feel like you have such a compassionate heart. Like naturally, I think you have a very compassionate heart and a very open heart, but this baggage has been really weighing on you to the point where it's also taking up your energy and your ability to create in your life, because there's so much of your energy being directed towards this old baggage to carry it. It's like if you had luggage from, I don't know, years and years past, and you've been moving to like different locations. Maybe you enjoy traveling and you've been carrying this luggage with you, and there's nothing useful in this luggage for you anymore. All the stuff in there is just not useful for you. You can't use it. It's just extra weight. So it's costing you money every time you travel because you have to pay for this extra weight. It's taking up space every time you travel, and it's not bringing you any value. That's kind of what's happening here, but in your heart space. And so with all this extra luggage, you're not actually getting to fully enjoy the experiences that are coming in, because with this 3 of Cups here, I feel like there are a lot of things in your life, a lot of beautiful experiences that are either entering your life right now or that are currently already present. But something in this baggage isn't allowing you to fully experience these beautiful things. And your spirit guides are saying you are so worthy of experiencing these beautiful things, these beautiful experiences. You're so worthy of having those things. You're so worthy of experiencing beautiful connections, healthy, loving connections with others. You have a beautiful heart. You have a very beautiful, open heart. And that is your gift. That is actually a huge gift of yours. And now that you've learned the wisdom to protect your heart in the way of setting boundaries and creating like healthy boundaries around it, you don't have to worry so much about keeping a wall up. Because that wall is also keeping you out of experiences. It's holding you back from experiencing the things that you want to in this life. And if you've been struggling to manifest something, it's not because that thing isn't meant for you. It's mostly because there's this huge weight in your heart and it's not allowing room in your life for that thing to enter. That's specifically for those of you who have been struggling manifesting something. It's because of this forgiveness or this lack of forgiveness, whether again with yourself or another, or even just some past baggage like that you've been carrying like dead weight around for a while now. It's that thing that has been causing some blockages causing some blockages in your ability to manifest what you want into your physical reality. And if you want more help with this, I have an entire video on my channel. I'll link it here in the cards, wherever that is, on on forgiveness, but truly forgiveness is for you. It's so you can move forward in your life, so that weight isn't weighing you down and limiting your life experiences. Like, you've already experienced the pain once, but continuing to carry it throughout your life is just making it so that pain never really leaves. It's just constantly there, a constant reminder of that situation. And it kind of limits your ability to experience new things. And that's not to take away or diminish your experience with whatever situation you went through that caused that pain to begin with. It's not to diminish that. Of course, you're valid for having these feelings and this pain, but what your spirit guides are encouraging you to explore is, how long do you want to hold on to this pain for? And how long do you want to continue experiencing it for? Because you've already learned the lesson. You've already gained the wisdom from it. You're not going to be in that, like, making the same mistake twice. So you don't have to fear making that same mistake again. Shifting your perspective to help you walk away from this is going to open up so many doors in your life. It's going to open up so many new opportunities, but also it's just going to open your energy up. And I feel like once you open your energy up, things are really going to start to change in your life. You'll start to feel this shift, because like I said, your heart is naturally very open. Your heart is naturally very compassionate and very beautiful. And your spirit guides are saying that your heart is extremely beautiful. And that is your gift. And it's unfortunate that you went through this situation that caused you to have this baggage and this heaviness and pain in your heart space. And as you forgive that, you'll be able to tap into this heart space as a gift. Your heart space being a gift will still allow you to connect with others while remaining discerning, while having healthy boundaries in place. I think with this equal parts here, I also feel like it will call in people into your life who also have a beautiful, similar heart to yours, who have good intentions. Because part of the thing is that I think what's happening here, and obviously don't claim this if it doesn't resonate, but I feel like part of what's happening here is that this baggage that's been living in your heart space is then calling in experiences and people who are a match for that baggage. So for some of you, I feel like you're constantly dealing with people and situations similar to that pain, or it's like constantly bringing that thing back to the surface, because it's like it's almost unconsciously calling that thing back in. And maybe part of it is so you can forgive it and move on. Maybe it's bringing it to your awareness so you can move on, so you can see how much wisdom you've gained and how you are capable of dealing with situations like this without having to repeat the same scenarios over and over again. And your spirit guides are saying that this forgiveness is an act of self-love, is an act of self-care. It's pouring into yourself. It is part of that journey of loving yourself. And maybe some of you have been on a self-love journey of really coming to understand and love all parts of you, coming to love and care for yourself the way you need to be loved and cared for. And I feel like this is the next step in that journey, or this is the next thing that will really help you to fully come to love and accept yourself. This Page of Swords is also really calling to me. I feel like it's okay if you haven't even fully yet learned all the lessons, or at least it's okay if you haven't fully yet integrated all the lessons, because that will happen over time. You're already on the journey to integrating the lessons that you've learned from these situations in the past. You're already on that journey, so it's going to end up integrating in its own time. And I think something that will make this process easier or a bit lighter and will help you along this process is surrounding yourself with people who you know have your best interest at heart, who you know you can trust, and whose presence in your life you value, who've always had love for you and who've always been there for you. I think surrounding yourself with those people at this moment will really help you along this process and along this journey. And even if maybe you don't have a whole lot of people like that, even if it's just one person, spending more time with that one person and connecting with anybody who you also find has that good intentioned heart and is truly like rooting for you. I think spending time with people like that, even if again it's just that one person, or maybe it's just yourself, maybe that would be really unfortunate, but sometimes that does happen where you're surrounded by people who are not really rooting for you. In that case, I think just spending more time with yourself, which I guess for some of you does make sense because we have this hermit here, but either way, spending time with whoever genuinely has good intentions for you and is rooting for you is going to help you through this process. And I also feel like as you do this, you will start to align with more and more people who are rooting for you. I think you'll end up opening up to meet more and more people who have that similar open heart and good intentions. I think you'll end up meeting better people along this journey. And if this is dealing with forgiving yourself for any past mistakes that you may have made, your spirit guides want you to know that you're only human and there was no way for you to have known 100% the outcome of a situation without sometimes having gone through it. But now that you have, you don't have to go through it twice. You don't have to go through that again, and you're not going to make the same mistake again. You already learned the lesson of caution, but I feel like you don't need to be so harsh on yourself either. There's like this need to be a bit more gentle and compassionate towards yourself, because again, we are just human. It's hard for us to know the outcome of something if we don't walk it sometimes. Like, for example, if you wanted to, let's say you meet somebody and you enter a relationship with them and maybe things go like sideways and they doesn't work out and you end up, splitting apart. If you beat yourself up for it, like, oh, I should have recognized the signs, I should have done this, I should have seen that, I should have blah, blah, blah. But it's like, maybe the only way for you to have seen those signs is to have gone through it. How would you have known? Like literally sometimes there's no way to know until you go through it. That's not always the case. And at this point, because you have developed that wisdom and that understanding, that's not the case now. But at that time, that was the case. And so your spirit guides are really encouraging you not to beat yourself up for it. You learned your lesson, and now you can use the lesson that you've learned while still remaining open-hearted, while still connecting to your heart space, because it was never your heart space that was the problem. Actually, there was no real problem. It's just a opportunity to gain insight. Like using that example, how would you have known that that was a red flag until you experienced it or somebody told you? But if nobody ever told you, you wouldn't have known until you experienced it. So now that you have gone through that experience, you know, and you can possibly even help others. But I definitely feel like, again, if this deals with yourself, and maybe for some of you, it's forgiving another person and yourself, because maybe it's like that person wronged you, but then you're also beating yourself up for not having recognized that. Or that situation wronged you, but you're also beating yourself up for not having recognized the signs or not having done XYZ. And it's like, well, but you learned that through having gone through it. And not to say that you have to go through it again, but beating yourself up for it isn't going to help you. And maybe that's something you already know, and I feel like that's possibly why your spirit guides are really encouraging you and here to say that they're here to support you through this process and this journey of forgiveness, because sometimes it's not as easy as just saying, I forgive that person. It can be, but it can also not be, depending on the situation. But they're here besides you, and they're really encouraging you to go down this path, because as you do, you'll start to tap more and more into your heart space and see what a gift it is, and you'll start to notice more and more opportunities opening up for you, more and more people who are aligned with your heart space with good intentions entering your life. And I think there's just a lot of beautiful blessings that will start to enter your life as you go through this. And I'm assuming that if you made it this far, then this is resonating with you, because if you don't have any forgiveness to do, or you haven't been holding any grudges in your heart, then I really don't know if this reading is for you. And I believe that if that was the case, you probably already clicked off by now. And I do feel like as you do this and your heart lightens, you'll start to notice that the experiences you call into your life feel lighter and much more enjoyable. Not just because the experiences themselves are better, but more so because your heart is open and so you're experiencing that thing differently. It's a much more enjoyable experience from your perspective, because your perspective has shifted. Your heart is lighter and you're experiencing it differently. And so I'm also hearing that with that song, I don't think the song itself has anything to do with this reading. Maybe for some of you it does, I don't know. But I feel like something from your past might come back around again, and this time with the forgiveness and stuff that you've done as you walk through this journey, if you choose to, obviously, when it comes back around, you'll be able to forgive it and move on, and it won't actually have such a huge impact on you. You'll be able to see it, understand it, and move on, and without it impacting you in such a great way. Like, I think it will just be a much better experience overall. Anyways, now let's get into your last message from your spirit guides. Pile 2 spirit guides. What last? Okay, message. Let me see, make sure this. So we have Daffodil. The sun shines brighter when you are here. Again, your heart space is already so beautiful. Your heart space is wow. At the bottom of the deck, we literally have this frangipani. You are truly beautiful on the inside and the outside. Pretty sure that's not how this is pronounced. But anyways, you are incredibly beautiful. Your heart is incredibly beautiful. And when your heart is open, you shine and you radiate, and people are naturally drawn to your magnetic energy. And I feel like through that openness, you'll end up calling in your soul tribe. I think you'll end up meeting your soul tribe. In fact, for some of you, I feel like if you've already met members of your soul tribe or people who you feel really soul level connections to, I think you and those people can help each other heal and forgive and move forward. I don't think it's necessarily for every single one of you that you go on this journey alone and then you meet them, your soul tribe, but I feel like for many of you, you'll meet these people along your way, and they'll really help to open your heart space up. And you'll help each other. Then we have Daphne. What pleases us most shapes us. I guess take that message as it resonates. Nothing really is coming through with that. So pile 2, this is where I'm going to leave your reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you, and thank you so much for being here. If you want to dive deeper, you can book personal tarot readings through my website. It's in the description box. If you like this reading, then like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I'll catch you in another video or reading. Bye. Hello pile 3, how are you doing? You've chosen this tiger's eye crystal, and we're going to keep it right here. I really have been enjoying connecting with you guys, and today I was curious what element, so earth, air, fire, water, or spirit, have you been recently feeling most called to work with or connected with? If you want to hear my answer, you can check out the intro, but I enjoy exploring this from time to time because I feel like I gain a lot of insight. So I would love to hear your thoughts, but you can also just reflect on that privately. Now let's get into your reading. The first thing that was coming through was, I felt like a commitment energy, like something about a commitment. So maybe some of you have recently made a commitment to something, or you're thinking about committing to something, and maybe that's what this next step is about. But if that doesn't resonate, that was just something that came through while I was shuffling. So this is just the top card off your deck, and we have the Ace of Swords, the Golden Egg, as well as Beaver. We then have these are 2 cards. Going forward, first quarter moon in Cancer, push through any insecurity, freedom. And then this card, I felt called to take this deck, but I didn't really have a clear direction for it, so I just kind of, the last 2 piles, it has resonated with it, so I've just been taking whatever message came through. So we have present. Time can be tricky. Staying in the moment means not lamenting about things past and not distressing about things to be. The past and future cannot be controlled. I can only control right here and right now, so I take peace in surrendering to the present. So let me lay all your cards out and I'll be right back. All right, let's pull your tarot cards and then we'll get into this. Ooh, you have the Magician at the bottom. So pile 3 spirit guides, what next step are you encouraging them to take? What next? Thank you. I feel like getting one more. God, that's a lot. The Lovers just popped out. It's interesting because we were talking about a commitment. Are some of you trying to commit to a relationship or something? Can I get one more? Wow, this has been coming out in every single pile, the Ace of Wands. So pile 3, the amount of new beginning energy that is in your pile is wild. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, Temperance, and the Ace of Wands. And the aces are the beginning of each suite. And you have 3 out of 4. The only one you're missing is the Ace of Cups. And with this first quarter moon in Cancer, which the first quarter moon happens after the new moon, so it's like the moon growing. That's also giving me like new fresh energy. And then you have this golden egg, which typically like an egg can symbolize new beginnings, the birthing of something new. And you also have this going forward card. So everything in your reading is just like screaming new beginnings, but not a new beginning in the way that like it's like everything is changing and your entire like root system is being you're being uprooted and something new is taking its place. That's not what I'm seeing here. The energy that I'm seeing here is more of an evolution. So it's like a new beginning in something that you've already been building towards or something that you've already been working on. It's almost like you've already laid the foundation and now you're finally adding levels to that foundation. You're building the actual building. on top of a sturdy foundation. So it's not like you're building from scratch, you're adding to it. I hope that's making sense. And for some of you, this could be your sign to set new intentions and start committing to that, just depending on whether you have or haven't set intentions. And I'm also feeling your guides saying that you're ready to cut off the old stories and cycles from your past or from your family even that no longer serve you. Those stories don't have to run your life. You have the power and energy to tend to new stories, new intentions, whatever it is that you want moving forward. And in your case, I'm feeling like there aren't really many next steps that you need to take. I think you're already doing everything that you need to be doing. You're already spending time building yourself up, and I feel like you've already been spending time working on your foundation and building yourself up. I think your spirit guides are encouraging you to continue being present in your life, bringing yourself back to the present, not really worrying or focusing on the future as much. And even though we have this going forward card, I feel like you're naturally moving forward. You're naturally progressing. So you don't need to focus too much on the future. I feel like your guides are saying to bring your energy and attention back to the present moment. And of course, like, you have an idea of what you want in the future, and like with this Temperance card, you can hold space for both. It's like you planted this seed, you watered it, you've done all your parts, right? And now they're finally starting to sprout. You don't really need to do much other than allow them the space they need to sprout and continue to grow. And I feel like the best thing that you can do right now is to explore any insecurities and self-doubts that come through or that come up, and just do your best to move through those insecurities. Explore them, release them, do what you need to do to move beyond those insecurities, because those insecurities and self-doubts are just like a natural thing that we humans can experience, especially when we've laid some seeds or we've started that and we're not seeing immediate results or results in the timeline that we've expected. It's very easy for our mind to go to like doubting it and worrying and like sitting on the edge of your seat worrying if this is going to happen. But I feel like in your case, your guides are just encouraging you to relax a little bit, stay present in the moment, and allow for your seeds to continue to grow, because they are growing, even if you cannot see the fullness of it just yet. Keep taking action forward. Basically what I'm hearing is just continue to take the action, continue to balance things out in your life, create that harmony between taking action and resting, pouring into yourself as well as pouring into your external world as you see fit, like as you need to. I think connecting to your heart space will also be really beneficial to see what you need when you need it. So like connecting back to your heart space to see, at this moment, do I need to be pouring into my external world or internal world? And if I need to pour into my external world, what steps am I being called to take? And if I need to pour into my internal world, what steps am I being called to take? And sometimes there is nothing to do. And I think your guides are encouraging you to sit in that nothingness as well. You're already doing what you need to do. So sometimes it's okay to step back and just be present in the moment without doing anything more. You don't always have to be doing more. Sometimes you can just take a step back and allow things to unfold in their own way. When you need a refresh, try some new things, gain some new experiences. This could look like watching a new show or reading a new book in a genre that is different from the one that you usually go to or that you usually reach for, just to give you a new perspective and freshen things up for you. We do have this 7 of Cups at the bottom, and it's interesting because the 2 of Cups is underneath that. So I wonder if some of you have been because we saw that commitment message and then the lovers kind of popped out but didn't really fall out. I wonder if some of you have been trying to call in a romantic relationship or a partnership or friendships of some sort, and you have worked on your foundation, you've worked on your heart space, you've done what you needed to do, and now it's just about allowing for the universe to kind of step in, or allowing for the seeds that you've planted to grow. Either way, I feel like there is a connection here that you are building up, and it could just be that you're starting to see the fruits of the connection you've built with yourself. But anyways, I got so sidetracked there, but with the 7 of Cups, I'm feeling like don't worry too much. I know like this is obviously easier said than done, but your guides are really encouraging you not to worry too much about the future or too far ahead. I think it's actually more about not looking too far ahead and keeping your sights a little closer to the present moment and just taking the actions that you need right now. And even if you're unsure if it's the right path, the path is going to unfold. So as you take each step naturally, that path will unfold. I don't feel like you have to worry too much about the right path or the next step to take, because I'm not really getting any next steps for you to take other than, like we said, moving through any self-doubts or any insecurities. I feel like everything you're doing right now is right for you. There's really not much more that you should be doing or that you need to be doing or that your guides are encouraging you to do. Your reading feels more of like a confirmation of the fact that the seeds that you've planted are in fact blooming, and there is a fresh new energy coming in, or there's something new entering, but it's, like I said, not a new thing that's uprooting everything else. It's a new thing that's expanding on your existing foundation, on something that's already existing in your life. I'm also hearing this message of finding something that's going to help you check out of work mode so that your mind is able to truly relax. I really hope that this has helped you, because I'm not really getting any next steps. It's like, yeah. So I hope this resonates and it makes sense to you. Let me know in the comment section if it does. Let's see. Pile 3 spirit guides. What last message would you like to give them? I also feel like you've been pretty good about hearing your guides' messages and taking the steps that they're encouraging you to take in alignment with your goals or your vision or whatever it is that you want. There's something else coming through, and possibly if you really want a next step, maybe that's something that you can explore, is like just deepening your connection to your guides and trusting in the steps that they're presenting to you. I think your guides are encouraging you to focus more on your short-term goals. So what's like immediately in front of you, rather than focusing too far out. I feel like that may not benefit you entirely. I think it's better for you right now to focus on what's right in front of you, or the like 2 steps ahead, and connect to them when you feel confused about what that would look like or what you need to do in that stage. But I feel like you're already doing a pretty good job connecting to them. We have lavender here. Take time to cleanse and remove negativity. When I see lavender, I think of like relaxing, because usually we use like lavender oils or lavender when we're trying to relax or take a break. Your guides are saying that it's okay to take a break. It's okay to not be doing anything else other than what you need to do, obviously, to fulfill your responsibilities. But other than that, you don't have to keep adding more to your plate. Like, you're already doing enough, and it's okay to take a break once in a while. It's okay to step back and relax and like I'm hearing, put your feet up and just enjoy what you've already done. Enjoy the work that you've already put in. So let's see what your cards have. We have Peony. Prosperity can be assured if you care well for tomorrow. And then we have Forget-Me-Not. Always remain true to your intentions. So I want to start with this Forget-Me-Not. I feel like your guides are saying to just hold your vision. The path is going to unfold. Hold your vision. And like we said, it's not about focusing too much on like years down the line. I think it's more beneficial for you to focus on what you want to bring in or what you want to walk towards just in the immediate future. One quick thing that I'm hearing right now is that some of you might be worried that this new beginning energy might, like, you might be concerned that this new beginning energy might force you to walk away from something that you actually enjoy, and that is not the case at all. I don't think you're walking away from anything. I feel like you're just evolving and enhancing what you've already worked on. So your spirit guides want to ease your concerns in that regards, if that applies to you, that they're not guiding you away from something that is near and dear to your heart, something that you enjoy. Rather, they're allowing for that thing to evolve and grow. Honestly, this entire reading has felt more of an encouragement, and maybe that's what you needed rather than next steps. It's more of like you needed encouragement in this moment, that what you're doing is right, and there really isn't much more else that you need to be doing. We also have Peony. Prosperity can be assured if you care well for tomorrow. The same message of just taking it one day at a time and not looking too far ahead. So pile 3, this is where I'm going to leave your reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you, and thank you so much for being here. If you want to dive deeper, you can book personal tarot readings through my website. It's in the description box. If you like this reading, then like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I'll catch you in another video or reading. Bye. Hello pile 4, how are you doing? You've chosen this blue lace agate. I'm going to keep your crystal right here. I've recently really been enjoying connecting with you guys through the comment section. So I've just been asking questions, and I love reading your responses. I was curious what element, so like spirit, fire, earth, air, or water, has been recently calling you most, or one that you felt really connected to. If you want to hear my answer, you can check out the intro. From time to time, I enjoy reflecting on this because I feel like I gain a lot of valuable insight. So if you wanted to answer that question, you can do it in the comment section, or maybe it's something you want to reflect on privately. Let's now get into your cards. And before we get in, actually, I was getting two different things. I felt a really strong curiosity, like an intense curiosity or curious feeling. And then I was also feeling this experimental energy when I tapped into your pile. So I wonder if maybe some of you are feeling curious or feeling led towards something at this moment, or just feeling like experimenting and trying new things. I don't know. But let's see your cards. We have the Seeker. Okay, so the Knight of Cups, which makes sense. When I think of the Knights, I think of curiosity, but curiosity with action. And so it's like the curiosity meets experiment. That's what I think of when I think of the Knights. So it's kind of interesting that you have that here. We then have Raccoon. New Moon in Gemini, think it through. Purity. And this card, I didn't I just felt called to use this deck, and I didn't really set any intention, so I've just been, for the last 3 piles, I just kind of took it and incorporated it into the reading and took whatever came to me. So for you, we have productivity. My worth is not based on my productivity, and it never has been. I do not need to take actions to prove that I belong. All babies are worthy, and they cannot in truth care for themselves. We all came into this world worthy without production. So maybe that's just a message for you. Let me pull your tarot cards and then I'll lay all this out. Spirit guides of pile 4, what next steps are you guiding them towards right now? What next steps? Oh, thank you. It's interesting that this fell and it fell reversed. So I'm going to keep it that way. I feel like getting one more. So that's the 10 of Swords and the Hanged Man. And that's the Hierophant. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom. So for your tarot, we have the 10 of Swords reversed, the Hierophant, and the Hanged Man reversed. One of the first things that I'm getting is that part of you might be hesitant or reluctant to walk away or to leave something behind or to leave an old way of doing something behind. While the other part of you is desiring to move on or is desiring to try new things. I think with this Purity card, specifically the eyes, in fact, the eyes in a lot of these cards, like in this Purity card, in the Raccoon card, in the Hierophant card, the eyes are really sticking out to me. So I feel like maybe you see 2 paths ahead of you, or you're seeing 2 different things. Even Gemini is like the twins, and so that can speak on duality. But I feel like there's part of you that is ready to move on from an old thing or an old way of doing something, whereas there's another part of you that is hesitant to move on or is reluctant to move on or is still holding on to that. And I'm hearing that the next actions for you and the thing that your guides are guiding you towards is growth through action. So you may have been in a period of introspection for a while now, where it was like a lot of inner work, and maybe that's the thing that you're like hesitant to move out of. But I'm hearing that your guides are encouraging you now to step out of that. Like you're now ready to learn through action, learn through trial and error, rather than just introspection. I feel like you're ready to put your wisdom and learn the knowledge that you've gained to the test, so to speak, and not like a literal test, but like putting it to use externally. Some of you might even be ready to start sharing the things that you are learning or that you have learned, whatever this applies to. Like this could apply to a hobby or a skill that you've been working on, or a just like your inner work journey, or whatever it is for you. You are now ready to start sharing your learning journey along with the things that you've already learned. I'm also hearing that it's time to step out of just visualizing and to step into doing, because there's a lot of this feeling of you're ready to start doing, you're ready to start taking action, but some part of you is still holding on to your current like situation, or like a part of you is ready to grow and ready to expand and ready to reach new heights or ready to try new things, and the other part of you isn't. Like that duality keeps coming up here, and your guides are saying that that's okay. You can move through that duality. It's time to take action is basically what I'm hearing, because you'll continue to gain wisdom and knowledge now from lived experience, not just from learned experience, which is what you may have been going through for the past, like for your past cycle or whatever. You may have been doing a lot of, like we said, introspection or learning internally, but now you're ready to learn through lived experiences. So it's like giving me this feeling of a student who has graduated. Now they're ready to move past that student phase and they're ready to move past the student phase of learning through just information, and now they're ready to learn through action, through practice, through practical efforts. Because like, while we can study something or we can learn a lot internally and we can grow a lot in our own bubble, interacting with external environments, external circumstances, different fluctuations and things like that is where the next level of growth happens. So even if, like, let's say you've been doing a lot of inner work and you've been maybe a goal of yours is to have a business or a romantic relationship or something like that, and you've been doing a lot of inner work and upgrading your self-concept and really working on yourself so that you can align with the thing that you want. Well, now it's time to take that externally. So in the case of the business, it's time to start taking the steps to open that business, and you will now learn through the actual physical experiences of going through and opening that business. Or if it's like a romantic relationship, now it's time to start dating and putting all of the knowledge and all of this inner work that you've done to a real world application. And for others of you, it's that you are now ready to share what you have learned and what you are currently learning, and possibly start teaching others, because we do have the Hierophant here. So like, you could possibly be guiding others. And I want to say that even if you don't feel like you have reached mastery, that's okay, because there's always someone just beginning or with a little less knowledge than you who can benefit so much from your wisdom. And for those of you who have already been working towards something, and you maybe you hit a wall, or you've hit this period of stagnancy, I think there's a different way, like you're being called to try a different approach. It's not that you need to walk away from that thing or change that thing entirely. I think it's just like you need to try a different approach or try something new. And that might be why initially when I was tapping in, I felt that experimental energy and that curiosity. So it's like combining the two of those things is being curious of different ways in which you can still achieve your goals. So like, whatever that looks like for you, maybe you've hit a wall and you maybe even have a creative block or something like that. If that's the case for you, then I feel like this is like encouraging you to try something new or try a new way of approaching whatever it is you're working on. Like, just a basic example is if you want to go to the grocery store and maybe the route that you've been using is blocked up or it's backed up for some reason. Well, I think your guides are now encouraging you to, instead of just giving up on going to the store entirely, try a different route getting there, because I think that trying that different route is going to help your mind to feel refreshed and re-energized. So even if you don't continue to use that different method, it's just to help your mind refresh. It's to help you gain a different experience and see different things, and just again refresh your mind and your energy, and get you out of that blockage. So it's not like you have to completely uproot. It's kind of interesting, this sort of came up for pile 3 as well. Like, there's this feeling of you don't need to completely uproot something. You may just need to try a different approach to it. Overall, in your energy pile 4, I feel really good, like optimistic, but there is this thing of like hesitating to move on, hesitating to move forward. hesitating to step out of your current comfort zone. And maybe for some of you, there's a slight hesitation to close out an old chapter with this 10 of Swords being reversed. But the biggest thing that's coming through is that for my pile 4s, your next steps and the steps that your spirit guides are guiding you towards now is to gain wisdom through external actions, gain wisdom through real world experiences and through lived experiences. And if that's something you're already doing, then maybe this is just confirmation for you. This is just telling you that you're on the right path, and that is the next step, or that is the steps that you're meant to be taking at the moment. So just fit yourself where you're at. I feel like for those of you who maybe have hit a block with something, if you try a new approach, you'll find that it works out a little more easily for you. You might find that the new approach is actually a bit easier, more smooth, and more aligned with you and your preferences. So it could be like with that grocery store example, maybe you find that the new route is actually easier, quicker for you, and less trafficky or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just an easier route, but all this time you maybe didn't know that it existed, or maybe you just didn't try it because you were so accustomed to this one road that now trying it, you're like, why wasn't I doing this earlier? That's kind of the feeling that's coming through to me. I feel like whatever it is for you, trying a different approach, you'll find an easier path. And I feel like it'll really help you clear out the blockage that may have formed for you. Because it is interesting, I'm getting two different things for this pile. There's some of you that it's like about a blockage that you're having in your work or in your life surrounding something. For others of you, it's that you've been doing a lot of inner work and you've been really in your own bubble for a long time, and now you're ready to step out of that. So now let's take your last few messages from your spirit guides. Pile 4 spirit guides, what last message do you have for pile 4? And I think it's also about honoring your duality, honoring both sides of you, because maybe for some of you, you could be resonating with both of these things. Maybe you have been for a long while kind of isolated or in your bubble or doing a lot of inner work and introspection. And it's not that you haven't been experiencing external things. It's just that your focus may have been more internal. At the same time, you could also have experienced this blockage. So both things could be happening simultaneously for you, in which case, I guess the message is to still like try a different approach and step out of the introspection phase. Because I think you're just done. You're ready to move forward from that. Like, I don't know if there's any more introspection that you need to do at this moment. And if it does come up, you now have the tools to be able to handle it in real time. Like, if you need to take a step back, you can recognize that and do so. Or if you need to work through something, maybe like a trigger comes up, you're able to do that in real time, if that makes sense. I don't mean it like, I hope that's making sense, but it's like you don't have to take a huge step back or isolate yourself. I mean, if you need to, then you'll know to do so. But for many of you, you may not even need to do that anymore. I think you're ready to step out of your bubble. Yeah. We have gladioli, set boundaries well to ensure good growth. I feel like your guides are saying, just like this says, to make sure you explore your boundaries and establish healthy ones, so that you're able to step out and put your wisdom and knowledge to the external like application that we were talking about, without compromising your well-being and your inner sanctuary. So, pile 4 spirit guides, can I get one more last message? Thank you. We have Snowdrop. Tomorrow brings the illumination of your hopes. As you step out and as you share your wisdom and the things that you've learned by having these by putting it to like real world experiences, I think you're just going to end up gaining more knowledge, and you might end up helping others along the way. I'm hearing no season lasts forever. So if you feel blocked, that block is not going to last forever. Eventually the block will clear. The thing that's coming through is it's time now to start looking more towards the future and your present moment versus the past. Like when we're going through periods of introspection, we can often be looking a lot to the past to learn from it and to heal from it. But I think now you've done a good amount, or you've done enough to where you no longer really need to look to the past, and it's time to look to the future and to your present moment. So pile 4, this is where I'm going to leave your reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you, and thank you so much for being here. If you want to dive deeper, you can check out personal tarot readings on my website. And if this reading was helpful, then like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I'll catch you in another video or reading. Bye.